On this. Okay, hi everybody. This is week 3 of 6 weeks to success. So I want to thank you for coming tonight and for joining me. We're going to talk about one of my very favorite subjects tonight called host coaching. So Janet and Chris and Amanda and Judy and Sherry and Holly are with me live here. So we're going to look for some really great conversation in a little bit. But let's get started right away. Let me share our screen and let's get going. Okay, all right. 6 weeks to success, week number 3. Congratulations, you did it again. You made it to week number 3. What have we learned so far? You've learned that you've got to increase your product knowledge in order to maximize your sales and your bookings. Did you guys get to watch the video from Product Pros from the first week? Did anybody watch that?
I watched it.
Good. What did you get from it, Janet? What was one thing that you?
One, I had like 8 or 9.
Okay. Well, what was your biggest aha from that?
Make a goal for getting the no's.
Make a goal for getting the no's.
That was one of the big ones.
Okay.
And I was surprised at the percentage of how consultants give up when they call.
Yeah.
The first call was 44%. Second give up after the 22 give up after the second, 14 after the third, and 12% give up after the fourth. And then 60% of people say no before they say yes.
Yeah. Those are really good percentages to know, so that you can make sure that you just keep trying, right?
Mm-hmm.
The no is not no thank you to you, I hate you. It is no thank you. I don't need whatever you're offering me right this minute, you know. You gotta be like the waitress with the ketchup. Do you want ketchup with those fries? No thank you. She goes to the next table. She doesn't go cry in the corner. Okay. So, good. What about a product knowledge? And did anybody watch the product knowledge video on the Product Pros? What's a product tip that you'd like to share with people? Anybody? Okay. Got to do your homework, guys. Okay. You learn that your belief decides that what you believe you can and cannot do, right? Whatever you believe, you're right. If you don't think you can, you're right. If you think you can, you're right. And that your brain can be retrained. It's really important to know that. You've learned how to talk to people while you're out and about and how to book parties at your shows and words to say at both. And you've learned that your passion shines through and completely influence purchases and bookings at parties. I'm going through an income calculator from the company with my directors right now. And it's really, really interesting. I know, Sherry, you were on the call today. Isn't it interesting how in just a few small tweaks and you can make so much more money?
Definitely.
Yeah. And so your passion comes through if you're passionate about different products and different things you have to offer. It's going to come through and people are going to catch that fire. Okay. So today we're going to discuss a key to have bigger shows, which means bigger paychecks or bigger commission checks, and that's host coaching. Host coaching is where you earn your paycheck. At your show is where you pick it up. It says keep calm and work smarter, not harder. One of the most important things with doing our business is to build relationships and make sure we host coach really, really well. It's one of those things that, to me, if I'm going to do a show, I'm going to host coach to my best ability and come across as a partner with that host. Okay, it's not about my paycheck; it's about her experience and what she's going to get from the night. So, how do I coach my hosts effectively? I'm so glad you asked. Okay, you start at the party. Ask if they can stay a few minutes. You can give them some tips on how to have the best party ever. If they can't, set up a time to connect tomorrow. I personally always do it the next day or within a couple days of the show. I don't hold up the line, and I don't expect people to wait. I usually have pretty large parties. So I personally, and this is how the person that made this up does it, but I personally always do it on the phone. I ask for a 20-minute appointment, all right? And I say, when, like today is Tuesday, I'll say, are you available tomorrow or Thursday for just a 20-minute phone call? I want to share some tips and ideas on how to have the best party ever. Okay, so you ask for that, and then what's the best number to get a hold of you at? Carry host packets with you. I hate paying postage. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I always have 4 packets with me, a minimum, and I usually have 2 more in the car just in case it's a phenomenal night. I expect people to book, so I expect to hand out those packets, and I use the show folders. They're the best dollar I spend. I feel like it keeps everything organized. It's a place for someone to put all their stuff, even if they're booking a month from now. And think about it. Everything that's in that packet is only worth about $3. It costs you $6 to send a priority mail, or $7 actually, to send a priority mail envelope. So don't be afraid to give that to someone. If they don't end up posting, they can either give it to someone else, or a lot of times they'll send it back to me. But quite honestly, it's almost like a handshake at the party that you're going to have your show. I ask them to pick a date, and they're going to get an extra gift at their show by choosing the date that night. And I tell them that saves us a phone call, okay? And then if they don't pick the date that night, we do it on that very first phone call. Okay, I give them 4 catalogs in the packet, 3 forgetting orders, and 1 for them to wish all over with a black Sharpie. 1 is for them and not to let it go. Fill out their fridge reminder card right there with them and explain how important each step is and when to do it, okay? Let's see, fridge reminder. This card is available on my Vistaprint account. This is Barb. Barbara Duke does this. Save the date. Your Pampered Chef party is just around the corner. The date and the time, okay? I personally don't use this, but Barbara Duke does, and she's very successful. Tell them that 40 invites means 50 to 18. Say yes, and then that means 12 to 15 show up. Just get 10 outside orders from those who didn't show up, and it's a $1,000 or higher show, 99% of the time. I let them know that 7 buying guests is about $600 in sales, and 12 buying guests is about $1,000. That's on average, okay? Let her know you'll be sending her at least 3 host coaching reminders, and if she follows them to a T, she'll have the best party ever. People numb to Facebook, they like real mail, okay? In other words, if somebody invites people on Facebook, it's really an announcement. It's not an invitation. It's announcing that I'm having a party. Think about it. You tell everyone you know about what a great time you had at dinner last night. You don't show them the check. You don't give them the individual details. You know what I'm saying? When you green dot people, or when you invite them with a red stamp, I personally send out invitations. I never was going to send out invitations. In fact, that's why I didn't go with another company that I was looking into, is because I thought, oh my gosh, I don't get my mail out, let alone everybody else's, okay? But I have to tell you, my party average went up $300 a night when I started sending out invitations. I won't do a party unless we send out invitations, okay? And if someone says,
are you sending out just the postcard invitations or the mini catalogs?
I send a postcard invitation, but I put it in an envelope so they have to open something up. It's worth a few extra pennies for the postage for it not to be considered third-class mail, okay? Third-class mail doesn't have to be touched for 3 weeks. And a lot of times those postcards get shoved in between with the flyers and stuff. And if you're like me, I just literally, I go to my garbage on the way in from the mailbox and throw the flyer packets out. I don't even bring them in my house. So I put them in an envelope. It is worth every penny to do that. Think of it this way. If you send out 40 invitations, it's about $20, okay? I guarantee you're going to get more people there by sending out invitations. You're going to make way more than $20. I average $90 in additional income when I sent out invitations, okay? Oh, isn't this interesting? I wonder how that's happening. Anyway, so needless to say, that's something that I do for virtual shows. Sherry, how do you do virtual shows?
What do you mean, for invitations?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I do my parties in groups, so basically the host just adds her friends
Okay.
to the party group.
Do you give her a red stamp, or do you give her something to send them, some words or verbiage?
I do. I send her something to post on her personal page, something to post in the party group, and then something that she can private message those. And usually we look like a day after she's added everybody to see who has not joined the party, and then I have her focus on those people.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I just really think that an invitation is special. People like getting happy mail. I know it's quote unquote old fashioned, but you know what? It's absolutely been found that the millennials, absolutely love getting something in the mail. And the more fun it is, the more they love it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next, communication. The biggest complaints of hosts is they didn't know what to do next. Pampered Chef has done a ton of surveys, and one of the things that they came back with is we weren't host coaching properly. You know, we think we're bugging people, but in reality, we are doing our job, okay? Developing a good host coaching system is the difference between a mediocre show and a fantastic show. Your hosts have a clear and concise path to follow. The entire party is the key to the $1,000 shows. We call this working smarter, not harder. Would you rather go to a $300 party or a $1,000 party? I think that's a no-brainer. One, you're going to make $60, and the other, you're going to make $220. Which one would you rather do? Okay. If you were blindfolded, could you make a basket from the following? I don't think so, right? Okay. Now, Shaq could probably do it, and that's a whole different training. But could you? It's not impossible. It could happen, but what's the likelihood of it? Now, what if I told you that Shaq could take a ball out of your, would take the ball out of your blindfolded hands, take it to the hoop? What's the likelihood of you making the basket now? Shaq is an experienced basketball player who practiced and practiced and practiced and perfected his art. It doesn't hurt that he's 7'1" also, and the goal is only 10 feet, but that is Shaq using his God-given talents to the best of his abilities, which is exactly what I'm going to ask you to do, to take the ball from your host's hands and help her or him slam dunk that thing, okay? So here's your must-do host coaching list. Stay in touch with your host, often communicating step-by-step what the must-dos for their party is. Here are some great host coaching letters. There are some great host coaching letters on the website, but here are some other ideas. If you have a Facebook event set up for them, you'll be able to post on the site. So you can post a recipe or a video or a tip. You can do this daily, every other day. You can use Post My Party or SendShare, either one of those, or you can just go on their website and do a Facebook Live. You can PM guests. You can let them, tell them to get to know you. People don't cancel on people that they like. Make sure you're always sharing the link to the party with your host, okay? With your post. There are many printable invitations on the same section in the website, or you can make invitation using the Red Stamp app to forward via email, text, or Facebook. Make sure that they understand the 20 equals 15 plus 10 rule. This works. Give them the words to say to invite, words to say to remind, and words to say if someone says no. Coach to $1,000 party, focusing on the amount of free, half off, and discount. This is why you must know what they want. You keep it in front of them. I always have my host the night of the party that I met them. I ask them I tell them their first thing that they need to do is fill out their wish list. Okay, go through the book and circle everything that they want, and I let them know that the next day I'll set them up on the web, Intercompany, and we'll have a link to their show, even if it's way out. I still set it up. Okay, and then they can go on the site and put in their wish list. Then I can figure out what size they're going to need to have. Okay, so I can go in and say, okay, these 3 things we can take at half price, this we can take for free, and then what else will be left for her discounted amount. And then I let her know, well, if you have a 700 party, here's about what you'll pay. If you have a $1,000 party, here's what you'll pay. Okay, so I let them know I'm going to do the same show for 5 people as I do for 25. Okay. But she's going to be a lot happier if there's more people in the room. Hey, Sharon, how are you?
Good.
Good. Okay. So when you pick a theme, have them choose a recipe. Okay. Oops. Sorry. What? Here we go. Have them choose a recipe, and then ask them to post the recipe choice they picked on their Facebook page. It's a great idea. Get people excited about what you're going to make. Then if you've practiced that recipe, post a picture of it and tell them how scrumptious it is. You can make a reminder red stamp pic for them to send out 2 to 3 days before the party, or make sure you've sent the reminder host coaching letter. You can mail a catalog to anyone, anywhere, but encourage them to use the link for the party as well. After the party, you'll go over the host benefits before leaving and give them a few days to close out the show. I personally never close out the show the night of the party. They need to be with their friends. They don't have to sit there with me, okay? And for the virtual shows, give them some time so they make sure everybody's got their orders in, and then go over things with them, okay? Now, these are located under the My Shows tab, Show Planning Materials, okay? By the way, this creamy Brussels sprout dip is phenomenal if you haven't had it, okay? Here's another one, Global Dinners, 1-pot sausage and kale pasta. Okay, so that's just an example of some of the things. And here's the one side, you'll fill out this, and then they've got all the ingredients lists, and here's the directions, okay? And I just tell them if there's anything I want them to do ahead of time. It's usually just wash all the vegetables, take the outside of the onion, peel off, things like that. But we want to prep together. I do a hands-on show, but I'm at the table with everyone around the table with 6 to 8 of the flexible cutting mats on the table. I have 2 pairs of gloves, 2 gloves at each cutting board, and I asked for 6 or 8 volunteers to come up to cook together. Okay, I need 6 or 8 of you to come up and cook with me, and everybody else is in a second row around the table. And that way, if someone doesn't want to cook, they don't have to. I'm not forcing anybody. And also, I see when they step up to the table, and this is probably a different call, but when they step up to the table, I have my first inkling that these are the people that are going to book or do what I do and decide to sell with me because they're most interested, okay? So that's just a couple of tips with that. Here's the host coaching letter 1, letter 2, and letter 3, okay? So those are self-explanatory. Okay, what do you say on your communications? Did you get the packet in the mail? Did I have your information correct on your stickers and your red stamp invite? How many invitations were you able to hand out? And I always tell them to keep some in their purse, so as they see people when they're out and about. Did you see that when you have 25 confirmed guests, I'll bring the recipe ingredients? Some people offer that as an incentive. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's up to you. A lot of times people will bring the stuff to make a cake, you know, or dessert in the rock crack. Can you post on your party a couple of times a week? And I tell them to get their people excited. Teach your host to share her favorite products with those who can't come. Those outside orders really add up. And then ask them, what are you most excited to get for free? Who's coming and who could use some extra cash in their wallets? Have you ever thought about doing what I do? The Kit Credit coupon should go in every host packet. That's part of the host plan, the Kit Credit coupon, okay? All right, the most important thing is to remember to stay in touch, okay? Stay in touch often with your host. Communication is the key. This keeps her on track and ensures that she'll have a great party going on. You'll love seeing all the yeses on Facebook, and if you haven't seen any of them, you'll definitely want to be back in touch with your host. Okay? The secret weapon, videos. Yep, you read correctly, videos. Okay? Many consultants are now doing host coaching videos, going over the host packet and what makes for a successful party. You can even send them via Facebook Messenger, or you can send them via Facebook Messenger so you can see when they've seen them, okay? You know when they've opened them up. All right, oops, sorry, okay. Okay, keep on track and stay organized. So how can you track everything? By using the little sheet the Pampered Chef has done. I have used this sheet my whole business. I have one of these sheets on every single host that I've ever done. To me, I mean, I don't necessarily mark the boxes off that I've done this. I've done so many for so long, but it reminds me, I scan them, so when I'm talking to them, it reminds me of the things that I still need to talk about. But this comes with me to the show. It gets put in my host information file when I get back home. It stays with the orders. When the orders are done, it's filed, okay? I don't have a separate folder or anything like that. I keep the show in a folder, but then I reuse the folder, all right, and just staple it right to it. And then on the future parties that I booked from that party, I make sure I put on there how much the host received for free from my last show and their name. Okay, I put the host name and how much they got for free. And then I also put their phone number on there. So I make sure that they're at the next show, okay? Host coaching is a partnership. She or he is going to get a ton of free half price and discounted items, and you're going to get a nice commission check. So is that worth it to you on one night for $220? I think so. This week's focus is on skill, okay? Skills are one of the easiest pillars in our business because it can be fixed by anyone simply by using their tools at home, developing personal stories about items. In fact, I want to share a little story from my life. Many of you know my sister Jackie. She worked for me for a lot of years, and Jackie tried the apron on at one point, okay, and she came with me for some training to a show I did, and at the end of the show on the way home, she says, you know, why did you tell so many stupid stories? We could have been out of here like 20 minutes ago. And I says, you know what, Jackie, that helps people relate to our products. It's not just about selling. It's about engaging and touching people's lives. And she says, oh my gosh, well, I'm not doing that, she said. I says, well, it's your business. You can do whatever you like. And about a month later, she comes back to me and she says, what are some of your stupid stories? She goes, my parties isn't as fun as yours. People aren't laughing and engaging with me like they did with you. So personal stories make you real. It makes you connect with people so that it's not just about the sale, it's about the experience, and it makes you real, okay? Studying the catalog and always carrying it with you. Are you always ready for business? I have a little bag in my car. I change it with every season. It's got catalogs, it's got business cards, it's got the mini catalogs, it's got some extra recipes in there, things that I'll need, you know, an on-the-go box, all right, mini tote, whatever you want to call it. But really be ready for business, because you'd be amazed at how many times when we're out, people ask, okay, or it comes up. All right, watch and listen to home office and your director's trainings. It's really important. You're doing that right now, so great job. Attend meetings and recipe nights, come cook with me nights, whatever you want to call them. And of course, I hope you're got a little pocket stashed away with some, you're starting to put money away every single month for conference. Read books on direct sellings for dummies. That's a great book. Belinda Ellsworth did it. Watch YouTube trainings. Do more parties. The more you do, the better you get with every party. Skills are easily taught and easily caught. You can do it, okay? You can do it. All right. So Sherry, what do you think? I know you're big on virtual shows. If you don't mind me picking your brain a little bit, what do you think is one of the most important things, or a few of the most important things you can do with virtual shows to make sure that they're successful?
Well, and I was thinking while you were talking of a good tip. So I do have my hosts. I've just started having my hosts post regularly in the party. Mm-hmm. And of course, I get that notification that they've posted. And instead of going right in and commenting on it, mm-hmm. I just turn on the notifications for that post, so that I can see any time somebody else is commenting. It sends me a notification so I can go on and then maybe respond to their response or their comment. So that's been, so I would highly recommend doing that if you have a host in any of your parties, you know, posting regularly to do that.
And isn't that really one of the keys for a good virtual show, is the host being very engaged?
Yes, it is, because I can post something and I see that, you know, maybe 15 people have seen it, but when my host posts, I notice, you know, 63 people see it. Yeah. So I've started that recently, and also giving them the link to post, because a lot of times, you know, that's what you want to make sure that the show post or the show link is visible when 63 people are seeing it.
Right.
So that's something I've started.
Awesome. And I know last week we put up Lori Gilbert's host coaching that she does for her virtual shows. And Lori Gilbert has completely turned her business around. She was a good consultant before. She did, you know, a few $1,000s worth of sales, you know, thousands, but not anywhere near what she does now. Now, I want to say last May, she needed to do $19,000 in sales to make excellence, and she did $21,000 in 1 month. And from then on, everything has been changed for Lori. She's been just doing phenomenal, and it's almost all virtual, okay? So she said the most important thing you do is host coach with the virtual shows. And it's all on our Facebook page, the Nancy Joe's personal team, okay? Anything else, Sherry? Is there anything else that you would tell everyone with the virtual shows, that, because you're very successful with them as well?
Well, and a lot of it is the host coaching. Also make sure that they have their wish list. And the nice thing with virtual shows, you can post their wish list. And, you know, if you're doing posts of items that the host wants, then for sure she's going to be engaged in the party, you know, saying, oh, you know, I want to have that rock crock, or, you know, I want to have that grill pan or whatnot. So and also I have my guests do their wish list as well, so that, you know, on the virtual shows, a lot of times you don't have that conversion of guests actually placing an order, but if you have their wish list, then you have a a reason to, really try to follow up with them to see if they would like to have the next show and get items from their wish list for free or at a discount.
Awesome. Now, are you going live on your Facebook parties?
I have not. I'm not comfortable with that yet, but I do a personal welcome that I record for each show. It's just a little bit different, a welcome and a little introduction, and I post that. So they are seeing me live talking. It's just not live.
Okay, because I hear that that's been really, really effective to not make it such a sterile environment, to open it up and to soften it a little bit. A lot of people are saying that the going live has really made a difference for them as well.
And one thing too that I started, I do a monthly cooking club. So when we're using a tool in my own kitchen, it's not just me. I will videotape somebody using, the mix and chop. And usually there's a lot of laughter going on, a lot of fun. So I'll just record, just a little piece of it. And then when I'm talking about that product in the show, then I can post that video as a follow-up, or if somebody's asking about a particular product. I've started kind of keeping, my kitchen files of products that I'm using.
Good. Great idea. I know I was using the grill pan tonight, and it's just such a great tool. And the grill pan, I just love it. I have 2 friends that have not used their grills since they bought the grill pan. They have not turned on their grill once. In fact, my one friend in Pennsylvania got rid of her grill. She says we gave it away because we never ever used it. So, and that's all because of the grill pan. Okay, your homework this week is host coaching with Lisa Noto and Michael Yoakley. Make sure you share with your recruiter at least 5 takeaways, okay? And we'll put this up on the Facebook. If anybody wants to take a picture of that, they can, but we'll put it on the Facebook link tomorrow. So what all your homework is, okay? So then, write this down. How many shows will you commit to booking this week? How many host coaching calls will you commit to this week? And then it's the same questions that you've had each week. How many leads did you get? How many bookings did you get? What were the sales? What did you have trouble with? And what's one brag you have this week? So I personally didn't get to call my people this week because I was on the phone with my directors. But I promise you I'll be all with you by Friday or Monday for my personal people that are on this call, okay? So good. Thank you for attending. I hope that you realize that when the word enough comes into play, when we're talking about host coaching, when you have done great host coaching, you'll have enough guests at the show or online to sell to book future shows with, and to get leads from. And that's really what we're looking for, is people to encourage to come into the business, to host their own show, or to order at any time. Let people know that they don't have to be at a party to place an order, that you'd be happy to take care of them at any time. All right. And make sure that they go to your website. Tell them that every one of us have a separate website, and it's really important that you go to my website so I can thank you properly and take care of you, as my personal customer. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope you got something out of our host coaching 6 weeks to success call. It really is the most important thing we do, next to, of course, booking shows. So I hope you're having a great fall. Put into action what you know to do, and it will come back to you, I promise. Okay? Does anybody have anything that they want to add? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Hey, Mike, how you doing there, big guy?
He's walking.
He's working. Okay. Hold on.
My right hip was replaced yesterday. I was sent home today from the doctor, and I feel great. There's some pain and soreness, but no joint pain, and I'm just blessing the Lord and thanking you for your prayers. So
Oh, you're very welcome. Looks like you're doing awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a supportive spouse if I ever heard one. Huh?
Yes.
You look fantastic. I can't believe it was just yesterday. Wow.
I can't either.
We came home within
It's pretty amazing.
just over 24 hours
Wow. Wow.
from the start of surgery.
From the, oh my gosh.
Discharged in 24 hours from the beginning of the surgery.